that I believe in manifestation massively. If you manifest something, you work hard, and those two things align. So the thing that, say you journal every day and you're writing down, say, a manifestation list, and you're like, you write it in like the present tense, or like, I don't know, I will own this, I will have this, etc. You manifest that for long enough and you get it in the subconscious mind, then I think luck's the thing that bridges the gap between hard work and manifestation. That's the only way I could describe it, but who really knows what luck is? But I think that, I believe in hard work massively, and whether someone calls that bridge luck or not, I don't know.
Do you think manifestation is just your focus? Like,
No.
I'm focusing on this. I am going to do this. So everything you see around you and everyone around you is just got to be aligned with that thought. And if they're not aligned, then you're like, you don't belong, like on my journey. And yeah, hi, it was quick coffee and I'm gone. And then other people are aligned with your journey. And you're like, okay, you belong here because this is the path I want to get to. Like, isn't it more about focus, or how would you distinguish the two?
So I think that it's kind of focus is part of it, but I think that manifestation is training the subconscious mind. And I think that that's very hard, because a lot of the things that we manage, the messages we get to the subconscious mind, I think that we do it in a way that we don't understand that we've done it. And it could be anything. Like you could, I think the placebo effect's very real. And I think that, we talk to ourselves a lot. Everyone's walking around and we're going crazy thoughts in our heads all the time. You're probably best not to know some people's thoughts when you're walking around. But I think that training the subconscious mind, I think, is an art, and I think that it's very hard to accomplish. But I think that manifestation comes from that. So I think that if you tell yourself enough, which, yeah, focus is part of it, because if you're not focused or disciplined, you're not going to do it. But I think that having a core focus and blanking out all the things that isn't aligned with your vision, I think that's discipline. But I think that manifestation comes from continuously training the subconscious mind, whether you're writing it down, which, they've actually done studies on this to say that writing things down, in that context, like I said, does work. And, I'm massive on that. I'm massive on optimizing performance and how to increase cognitive performance too. I think those two things are really important, because most people, but the entrepreneur's curse to me is shiny objects and procrastination. And people like to think they're not procrastinators, but most of us are, like, in one way, shape, or form. No matter how driven and disciplined you are, everyone has that period of time or period of the day where they're like, I'll just do that later. And you could be coming down to prioritizing one thing over the other, and maybe you shouldn't. But it's just, unless someone's above you, coaching you, mentoring you, or this giving you an outside view, we do what we think is right at the time. So I think that, I think optimizing performance is very important. I think manifestation, focus, and discipline, they all need to align.
Yeah, make the invisible visible.
Yeah,
As they
that's
say,
right.
write it down. Do you think we need to have somebody always that you're accountable to? So if you're doing something in your life that you're always, have some sort of accountability, that if you don't do it, there's somebody else watching and looking at you and saying, hey, what's going on here? And you're not moving. Or do you think you can do that yourself? Are there apps now that help you, prod you, and, like put a little alarm to yourself? What would you sort of advise somebody if they're going, look, I'm motivated most of the time, but that's actually 50% of the time. Do you know what I mean?
I think that it depends, because I think that, one, you have to learn to perform without motivation. I don't think that people should rely on motivation to get stuff done, because anyone can get motivated, but motivation can last for 30 seconds or it can last for 6 hours. So I think that you have to learn to be disciplined, because disciplined is what makes you show up on the days you're not motivated. I think that when it comes to accountability, I think first and foremost, you need to train yourself to be accountable to yourself. When you say you're going to do something, you don't need someone on your shoulder telling you to do it. You should be able to do it, again, down to discipline. But I think that if you're, for instance, investing in property, you're buying businesses, you're investing in the stock market, I think that it's never a time when you don't need to try and seek other advice or other opinions from other people. You're never going to be the best at everything to the point where no one can tell you nothing. So I think it's always good to continuously look for mentorship, whether it's paid or whether it's free. Like, you're going to get to a stage in life where you're going to be in rooms of people that you don't need to pay them. You're just in the room because of credibility and who you are. But that doesn't mean that you know enough not to take advice from people in the room. So I think you should always be a student, regardless of where you're at in your life. There should never be a time where you're not open to learn. But I think that when it comes to actually accountability, if you feel that you struggle with discipline, and you feel that you need constant motivation, and that's not a bad thing because this is a process you go through, then I think that go and get it. If you know that's what you need, if you wake up in the morning and say you want to go to the gym and you're continuously telling yourself and justifying with yourself all the reasons why you don't need to go today, or you need to go and put a Tony Robbins clip on, or you need to listen to some sort of music or to motivate you, then go and join a group or be a part of something that gives you some sort of accountability.